1-week garden tour. Easter kind of snuck in there and stole some time from me. It was a good time, we spent it with family, but it took me away from the garden. So we are now, it is the first week of April, and it is feeling very, very autumnal. There's still a lot in the garden, but there's also a lot that is no longer there. I've just been working my way through from one end of the garden to the other, just clearing it up, really doing some cleanup. So once it's been given a really deep, good clean, then I can focus on other projects because I've got some exciting things on the go. So yeah, come with me, or come on, I'll show you what the garden looks like. Now it is warts and all, I need to warn you, because like I said, I'm in the process of clearing it up. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Come on, let's have a look. Yes, come on. Okay, firstly, the deck in front of the shed is a bit of a mess, but it's all project mess, and I've got to figure out where to put them nicely. But there's some cuttings there of rosemary and muhlenbecher, and then over here I have some heuchera that I got at a sale that I have also another project for, but that'll take a wee while, so the key is keeping that alive. The kumara is still doing its thing, so I haven't harvested that yet. That's a self-seeded pepper I rescued from somewhere in the garden, and it seems to be doing okay. The rest of the peppers through here I harvested quite heavily, and so they're pretty much done. And then through here is my winter seedlings that need to go into the garden. There's a lot of cabbage white butterfly still floating about, so it's really hard to keep them safe. So there's a lot of holes in there, but you know, is what it is. They'll be fine. This is a port wine magnolia I bought for an Easter project. I bought it because I like the shape of the plant. So I'm not sure how well it will do here, but I guess we will soon find out. Okay, so we're going to start the tour over here in the very far corner with where the tomatoes were. There's a mustard cover crop here. It's starting to flower already, so I probably should whip it out and lie it down. I'm not going to try digging it in because that's a pain in the turkey. So I'll probably pull that out and just lay it on the top and then put compost over it. Let the worms do their thing. So that's pretty much a bed that's tucked up in bed. The glass gem corn came out the other day. And so I need to re-enrich the bed with some kind of cover crop, probably mustard or lupin, I haven't decided yet. And then squash, same again too. I've harvested all the butternut squash and all the camo, and I need to put some kind of cover crop down in here. Probably something, maybe the lupin, because the corn's going in there next season, so it'll need a good rich, nitrogen rich bed. And where the corn was, there's a mustard seed cover crop that's also gone to flower. So I may need to I'm just going to crop and drop and cover it with compost, and that will be all set, ready to go for the peas. The peas are doing great. They're flowering, which is wonderful. And also, interestingly, down the middle of the row here I have garlic. Now, I planted these scrawny little garlicky leftovers last year down the middle of my peas, and they didn't come to anything and just shriveled and wasted away before I got a chance to harvest them. So I left them, and now they're looking really good. So yeah, I might end up getting a harvest out of them this year. And it's probably a good time to pop another row of peas down here, considering the stage that these guys are at. So yeah, time for some succession pea sowing. I think I can get away with sowing peas all winter. Just avoid them in the height of summer. The flower garden is still hanging in there. The dahlias, I've got to do something with the gladiolis. They're pushing their bulbs right out of the soil, so I have to figure out what to do with them. The rest of them are just still being loved. by all the creatures, which is good. I'm going to get rid of the stock. It just stays like fat green caterpillars more than there is flowers. And the carnations are going because they're just a mess and never been nice. The perennial herb bed needs a bit of love. The rosemary's taking over, engulfing the tarragon, the French tarragon. The thyme has died and the sorrel is taking over, and we don't really eat a lot of it, so I can't justify it being there. So it's coming out. The coriander is looking lush and delish, enjoying the cooler weather, and the basil is still hanging in there. I'm not sure about the stevia. It seems to be suffering a little late seasonness. And check this out. Look at this. Those are daffodils. They should not be popping up. This is April. Autumn April. I started to tidy up the leeks in the onion overflow bed that we didn't get a chance to eat. But then I noticed there's all these little mini leeks popping up the side. So I think what I'll do is I will transplant those into the new onion overflow bed, which is where the zucchinis are this year, when the bed is ready for them, and then pull them out, because this bed will be next year, will be the odds and sods, which still has okra. Oh my goodness me. Okay, that's the size I should be harvesting them at. Not that size, but they get from there to there in the blink of an eye. You have to be like onto it. I'm finding the Burgundy okra is actually way more productive in my garden than the green, was it Clement's spineless? So I think going forward I will just plant the Burgundy one. The peanuts are doing good. They're great ground cover, so I just need the leaves to go all yellow and a bit manky, and then I can dig them up. The eggplants are still hanging in there, and so yeah, that's the odds and sods bed. I cleared out all of the watermelons except the ones that are still there. I don't fancy their chances, to be honest. And if you look at this little fella, I mean, he's just too little and the rats have found him, so he's yeah, but he's there for now, and whatever's happening there, no chance. So yeah, there's a couple of watermelons, who knows, it's still warm. The brassicas, there's just a few left. I've discovered most of them are creating little mini plants underneath, so if my sown from seed ones don't work out very well because of the caterpillars, I'll just plant some of those. Even the kohlrabi I missed, check this out, it's creating baby kohlrabis at the top. So we didn't get a chance to eat that, and I got busy and left it, and now we've got baby ones at the top. Nothing wasted, huh? I guess we need salad for dinner tonight, and I've got loads of radish ready to go. There's some purple ones down there, and the French breakfast. So I'm thinking of making some kind of fermented radish thingy, because I really actually like kimchi, and so maybe I could do something similar. Yum. I've lost a couple of my peppers, but the rest of them are doing all right. I've made some, what do we call it, oh yeah, homemade fermented sriracha, the other day. I got 5 little bottles, which is really good. It's probably way too much for us for one season. But yeah, so it's doing good. It's doing good. They're all starting to ripen up. So peppers galore. Peppers galore. And then this is the last zucchini. So how long it will last, I don't know. But everything else has been cleared away. Oh, and see this lemongrass. I put the lemongrass pots down in the spring and didn't pick them back up again. And so now they've rooted. So I've got to try and save them. I'm thinking because there's 2 of them, they'd look really cool in like a urn type pot, you know, flanking something. We'll have to see. I'll have to find something. I'll keep my eye out. The asparagus is doing what asparagus does at this time of year, just absorbing goodness through the fronds, taking it into the crown. Won't be till June that I will be chopping them down and enriching the soil. So they've got a wee bit to go. This is where the garlic will be planted, whether it gets planted the next day or the next week or the next couple of weeks. This is where they will be. The beans have bounced back. They were like on the edge of death for a while there. So here's a snake bean, and then I just took a harvest of like green beans, and these are cannelloni beans, and those are kidney beans. So yay, second round. Quite pleased with that. Okay, so that's where the potatoes were, and the root crops will go. So in the next month or so I'll probably start moving the carrots and things over into this bed, because I can grow carrots all year round. So in this bed what we have left of the root crops is beetroot, parsnips and carrots. And I've kept the fennel because I thought it might be nice to use the seeds to flavour a batch of pickled onions, because it's got such a lovely sweet aniseedy flavour. It's got to add some yumminess to it. And then in the leafy greens we have some spinach that's self-seeded, and the rainbow beet, silver beet, celeriac and bok choy. Most of the bok choy is self-seeded, so I can't really take too much credit for them. And a pepper that's also self-seeded. Not quite sure what kind it is though, but it looks interesting. And then this is the famous 4th corn. Actually looks quite good, but I had a sneaky peek and there's a lot of gaps in there. So it's not as good as it looks, but that's what happens when you only get one plant. And it's just a race to beat the rats to it. So that was the garlic last season, and it's going to be the cucumbers this season. The cucumbers were over there where the garlic is now, but I've had to do a rejig in my crop rotation because that was the only logical way to do crop rotation with something that starts halfway through the other season. The pond is full of scum. I need to clean it up. Don't look. I have a project for at the back there, but wait and see. The Jerusalem artichokes have finished flowering, so the next stop is midwinter harvesting whatever is in there. I'm still not sure I like them. Apparently you're supposed to let them mature a little bit longer after harvest to sweeten them up before eating them. The globe artichokes are just flourishing. They seem to love it here a lot. The yams, yeah, pass. Yeah. The flowers are doing alright though. I'm quite pleased with these. I'm just dumping things in there higgledy-piggledy without routine or plan, and it's liberating. The edible flowers are getting a bit wild and woolly, and the calendula have been quite heavily deadheaded. Oh, and I made this. This is a windbreak. I wove it into Muhlenbeckia stalks into the plastic trellis, and it's my rhubarb is starting to look magnificent. The leaves are a lot bigger than they have been all summer long, so, and don't look beaten up. It's really refreshing. The first lot of pumpkins have been harvested, and there's a mustard seed cover crop in there, so that's good. It's interesting what the cover crops can tell you about your soil, because obviously there's something going on there in the soil for that not to be germinating properly. Interesting. We've got loofahs. There's quite a few of them in there, actually, surprising. There's one there, 3 down there. Oh, another one down there. 2 over there. That's quite cool. I need to clear out this bed. The one at the back probably needs a bit of work, and so does that one. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I tied in the raspberries. I didn't need to tie in the autumn ones, but what it did is it pointed out that there's still fruit coming, because come winter I'll just chop them all off at the base. But with the summer fruiting ones, now I know which ones the fruit will come on next season. All these extra ones poking out I'll probably just give away to friends. So they've popped up in the wrong place. Strawberries, I've pretty much given up on them. Well, not given up as in given up on as a crop, but they will get some attention in coming months when it's their turn to get sorted out. I'm thinking I need a windbreak through here and through there, because the blueberries are just getting nailed. They do not look like healthy plants. So yeah, that's another project to consider. And I need to clean up the end of there. So that's the garden here in late March, early April. Once I finish getting all the crops out from the summer and getting it all sorted out for the winter, then it will free me up to focus on some pretty cool projects that I'll be able to show you more about as I get started on them. At the moment there's nothing to see. It's just a dream and a vision, but there's always something to do in the garden, always something. Don't think I'll be able to go a day without saying, oh, the garden doesn't need anything today, even in the midst of winter. So it'll just be about me being brave in the cold, which it's not at the moment. Actually, I probably should take my jumper off. It's quite warm in the sun. So here we are, early to ever so slightly mid-autumn here in New Zealand, in my wonderful little garden. So hopefully I don't expect too much is going to change between now and the end of the month, except maybe I won't be as tardy and we'll get the April tour out on time. So thanks so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.